welcome to Diamond Delight Edibles. My name is Liz, if this is the first time you're joining, and the regular guys, thank you so much and welcome back. As always, I really so much appreciate your love and support. It really means the world to me. So today I've got a special recipe, well at least I hope you think it's special. So I'm going to actually show you how to make real bubble gum. So Canna bubble gum. Check this out. Pretty cool, right? So I'm going to show you how you can make your own bubble gum at home. Now, a few things to let you know ahead of time. Gum base is one, not the easiest thing to find. So to let you know, there's two links for gum base. There's one from Glee Gum, which I believe comes in pellet forms, which will probably be your easier choice. Or there's one that I get from where I got mine. Like, this is huge. This is like gum for a lifetime. Because you only need a third of a cup of it, or 3 ounces. So I got a lot of gum, but this was the far better value from Mexico, and there was no shipping, so yay. So totally up to you. As I said, the links are there for you if you decide you want to do this project. The other thing is this is insanely messy. So beyond any other gummy projects or whatever, because this is actual gum, so it sticks like gum. So what I did this project first and found the horrible endeavor of cleaning it not so fun. I will go over at the end there how you can clean it if you decide that you want to use your own pots. So second time around, went to the dollar store, just bought an inexpensive aluminum bowl. I know aluminum, blah blah blah, but whatever. For my double boiler, so that I'm just going to throw that right out, as well as a wooden spoon. So I highly recommend, if you do want to do this project, just pick up a bowl and a spatula or spoon that you can just throw out, because seriously man, the mess is blah. As well as cover your counters with paper, newspaper or whatever, and your floors, because again, anywhere that this gets, it's a nightmare. So just a word of warning. All right, so I am going to jump right into our ingredients, what we need, and we will get all of this put together. All right, so for our yummy, yummy bubble gum, you're going to need 3 ounces of your gum base, or a third of a cup of the gum pellets if you're going with the gum pellets, a 1/4 cup of your Canna syrup, a 1/4 cup of your Canna sugar, a 1/2 cup of regular sugar. And now, so here you can play with these mixtures. So if you don't have Canna syrup, you could go with, as long as you get 3/4 of a cup of sugar, I don't care how you make it up. So you want to go the other way, 1/2 and a 1/4, doesn't matter. If you want to do all Canna sugar, that's up to you. Totally doesn't matter. So as I said, you can interchange with those. And then you're going to want 2 tablespoons of dextrose. And dextrose is a simple sugar, and the reason that we do this is it doesn't set. So it will actually, that's what helps keep your gum nice and soft for chewing. If you don't add this in, then your gum is going to be very, very firm and hard, and it's not very nice. So dextrose you can get pretty much anywhere, Walmart, any health food store, pretty much anywhere. You just need to ask if you're not sure where it is. Generally in the health food area. And then what you're going to need, so that's going to go into our pot. Then what we're going to need is a 1/4 cup of your Canna powder sugar. And again, if you didn't make that up, there is a video on how to make it. Check out Canna flour, powdered sugar, and syrups to see how to make all of those. And then you're going to have 1 cup of regular powdered sugar and a 1/4 cup of tapioca starch. Then we're going to need 1 teaspoon of glycerin. You can get this at bulk bar and craft stores, anywhere that they sell baking supplies, you can get that. And then you're going to want, if you want, you can add your additional colors, and then you're going to want your flavoring. So obviously bubble gum I'm going to use as my base, and then I'm going to do a cherry, and then I'm going to do a licorice, because I love licorice, and the only licorice gum that was out there was Black Bart, and they don't make it anymore, so I can now make my own licorice bubble gum. Yay! And so that's the awesome thing about making your own candies, is you can make your favorite flavors. So those hard to find flavors and stuff, you can make your own. And the other thing you're going to need is some spray starch. So I'm going to get into the equipment that we're going to need, and then we're going to get this all put together. And as always, like I said, I forgot, one ingredient that we need is a 1/2 teaspoon of citric acid. Oops. All right, so for the equipment that we're going to need, you're going to need a double boiler. Like I said before at the beginning, this is super messy and it's actual gum. So it does not clean up very easily. Stay tuned at the end of the video. I will show you tips and tricks on how to actually clean up gum. But I went to the dollar store, just bought an inexpensive bowl to use as my double boiler. And I'm just going to throw this puppy out along with this wooden spoon. And because, yeah, I'm not cleaning this again. But I will show you. You're going to need a strainer and then two bowls. These aren't going to have gum in them, so you don't need to worry. And you're going to want some spray starch. And I think that's it. Well, as usual, you know I always forget something, but I'll let you know if I did. So the very first thing that we are going to want to do is to take our powdered sugar, both kinds, our regular and our Canna, and our tapioca. You're going to put those all in the strainer and sift those through. Get that out of the way for a minute. And you're going to do this about 2 or 3 times, so that's why we need the 2 bowls. And any lumps and stuff that you can kind of work through, and any ones that don't work through, just throw out. And then get that out of there. And we'll just go back to the second bowl, second pass. And the reason we're doing this is so that everything gets mixed well together. Our yeah, all 3 of those ingredients get mixed well together there. And once you do that, just set that off to the side. All right. So the first thing we want to do after that is we're going to spray down our bowl. It helps a little bit with sticking. Not a huge amount, but a little bit. And just wipe out the excess. Also, you may want to grease your hands up to help prevent the gum from sticking to your hands as well. I'll do my spoon. All right. So into our bowl, so into our bowl for the double boiler, we are going to put our white sugar, our Canna sugar, our corn syrup, or sorry, our Canna syrup. Or if you're not using Canna syrup, then you're going to use light corn syrup. And we're just going to kind of get that sort of mixed together there. And we're going to put this onto the medium heat and let that all melt together first. And then we're going to add in our gum. Alright, so let's get this onto the stove and watch what happens. Helps if I turn on the right burner. And sorry, I forgot the one thing. We forgot the dextrose. So make sure to add in the dextrose as well. So the only thing we're not going to add into that is our corn, or is our, oh my goodness, our powdered sugar mixture that we did there and the gum. Everything else is we're going to add in. And our teaspoon of glycerin. Holy mackerel, my brain today. So add in our teaspoon of glycerin. And the glycerin is to help keep it, to give it a nice feel and to keep it soft and chewy. Gives it a nice pliable feel. So what I'm going to do, I did this last time. The recipe doesn't call for it, but I did it the last time. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of water just to assist with the melting. Yeah. Just helps with the melting process there without adding a whole lot of extra moisture to our gum mixture. So I'm just going to wait for that to heat up, and I'll just keep mixing it until that's all melted. So what I've done is I've turned my heat up to high just to get the water hot and boiling, and then we're going to turn it down, help to melt the sugar help the sugar melt quicker. Then once your water's boiling, you turn it down to medium high until all your sugar's dissolved. And I'm adding in that half a teaspoon of citric acid I forgot. So your sugar and that should be getting pretty much melted. That's kind of what it should be looking like. Again, the greenish is going to depend on how much, excuse me, on how much Canna that you used. But we're going to fix this with our color now. So now at this point that our sugar and that is pretty much melted, we're going to add in our base flavoring. Ow! Turn that down. Now, just to let you know, for gum, you're going to want to add in more flavoring than what you would think you would need. So you're going to need at least 1 of these bottles. I have a half and a half, so. And then I'm going to split off once we get into making the actual gum part. I'm going to split this and make part of it cherry and part of it licorice. So we'll just get that mixed in. And I'm going to add in the little pink for the base. Add some color here. And that'll give me a base pink. So now that we have everything mixed in there and our sugar and that's pretty much melted, we're going to add in our 3 ounces of our base gum. And we're just going to put that in, and that's going to melt in. And then get ready for the ooey gooey mess. So you're just going to keep working the gum a bit, and it'll just melt, and as it melts, it'll start to incorporate into the rest of your syrup. Trying to let you see that. Looks a little kind of gross. I'll let your own imagination take over. So we're just going to continue to mix this until our gum is completely melted in and everything is one uniform texture and color. This will probably take about 5 to 7 minutes. This is what your gum should be looking this is what your gum should be looking like once pretty much all the gum base is melted. And like I said, then you just want to keep stirring until it's all one uniform color and texture. And at this point, you can turn your heat off and just work with the hot water. And once we've got that, just set that aside, and we're going to get our powdered sugar ready. All right, now with your powdered sugar mixture here that we did earlier, you're going to dump it out onto a working area. I've got a nice stone area, which is going to be nice because it helps with the sticking. If not, you can try taping down parchment paper over a working area or something like that to work with. But I said you want to keep your areas protected as much as possible because the stuff is a nightmare. So you're going to make a well in the middle of your powder mixture here. And then we are going to get our gum and we're going to pour it into the well. Okay, so you're just going to pour that into the center of the well. It's going to kind of ooze over a little bit here. And you want to try and scoop out as much of this gum right now while it's warm as possible, or if you're just going to throw out the bowl, then don't worry too much about it. Just kind of work, oops, kind of flick stuff everywhere. Just kind of work that in there until it stops kind of oozing here from us. And if anyone of you hearing that, it's Canada Day here. Those are fireworks, not gunshots. And you want to wait until this is workable, so until it's cool enough that you can work with it with your hands. Till then. And the other thing, little trick here, is grease your hands often as possible in between. It will help a lot. Now you're also going to want to keep, have some other powdered sugar sifted and ready to go, because you're going to need to most likely add more to it. That and tapioca. So I'm just going to grab my sifter somewhere. So I'm just getting some additional powdered sugar and some tapioca. So I'm doing about a cup or so of the powdered sugar and about a quarter cup of the tapioca. I'm just going to mix those together. All right, how's my gum feeling? Oh, it's pretty workable now. So once it's warm enough, it's okay for you to handle. You're going to start kneading it through your powdered sugar mixture here. And you're going to continue kneading for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. And it's very important to do so because otherwise your gum will fall apart in your mouth. I don't know if you've ever had that gum where you bite in, chew into it, and it just kind of falls apart. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? It's the gum that you get in the cards, you know, with trading cards, that stick of gum. That stuff never seemed to be together. So what you can do here is to start pulling it apart, and as it's sticky, add in more, just keep adding in more of your powdered sugar, and you're going to continue to do this until it becomes a nice pliable dough that is no longer sticky. So we keep kneading it and stretching it, pulling it. Technically this is pulling it. Be careful if it's too warm. Then I'm going to add in some more sugar here. So I tend to do a lot more pulling at first till I get all the sugar, powdered sugar incorporated, and we get that nice pliable dough happening. And then I work on the kneading. Check this out, we're making bubble gum. Now, what a couple good ideas here for you. If you've got toothaches or tooth problems or mouth problems, what you could do is add clove essential oil to your gum. Clove is one of the best essential oils for tooth pain and infections and things. So I said, you got any problems with that? If you've got arthritis and things, you could always add turmeric essential oil. So you could always use this gum as for medical as well. So I keep going through the powdered sugar, and it keeps getting less and less sticky. So I'm going to keep working this until we get to a pliable dough, and then we're going to knead it for about 10 minutes. So now once your dough is nice and pliable and it's not sticky anymore, just kind of clean up your work area. Just kind of scrape off the excess here. Just leave a little bit of the powdered sugar on your workspace. And then now we're going to knead it for, like I said, for about 10 minutes. So you're just going to continue to do this. Use the heel of your hand to press down and push it out. And you fold it over, and you just keep doing that, as I said. And if it starts to get sticky, just add a little bit more, just sprinkle some more sugar in, and then continue kneading. And I will see you back here in about 10 minutes. And so, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, we'll see you back here in 10 minutes, show you how to cut it up and how to store it. So you can either store in wax paper or just keep it in a bowl, just covered in some of the powdered sugar, or in a glass container, glass jar with a lid with some powdered sugar to prevent it from sticking. That works too. Alright, so I've been kneading this sucker for like 10 minutes. Ugh. So now I'm going to split. If you're just doing the one flavor, then what you can start to do is to just break it down into smaller workable pieces and just roll them into even size rope. So you want to make them probably about a 1/4 inch thick. So you just and now the way to kind of roll evenly is to use the palms, again the balls of palms, whatever. What is that part called? Anyway, that part of your hands, and to keep an even weight, and as you're rolling, gently pull out. And then if you notice one spot that's a little bit thicker, then just move down and apply until you kind of work that out, like so. So you're going to want your ropes about that big. And again, if it's getting too long to work with, just break it. And there you go, like so. Now, if you want to add in additional flavors, or you want to make more two flavors, or you want to add additional flavoring to it. So the nice thing about this now is you can actually try out your gum. So you can taste it, see what it's like, and make your adjustments as so. Add more flavor if need be, or if it needs to be kneaded more, you can do that. You can take care of that. So I'm just going to kind of get this evened here. And split her in half. And then half of this I'm going to make cherry. So I'm going to make a well here. And I'm going to get my cherry flavor somewhere here. I have black cherry and regular cherry. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of additional coloring. And then you're going to kind of just make a little pocket, smush it up together. Your hands are still going to get yucky anyway, but hopefully reduce it. And then again, you're going to work this through and you're going to knead this until your color is all one uniform color. Again, if you need more powdered sugar, don't worry, you can just go ahead and add it. Add a powdered sugar as needed. Oh, that smells so good. I made the black cherry before. Oh, it was just so amazing. Alright, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. I'm going to continue working that. I'm just going to do the black. Black will be a little easier to see. So again, I'm just going to continue to knead this until it becomes one uniform color. I'm going to do that with both of them, and then we'll get them rolled out and we'll get them cut up. Alright, so now that you've got all your gum ropes all laid out here, so they're all going to be approximately the same width, probably not the same length. That's okay. Now we're going, oops, if they're a little sticky, just roll them in a little bit of course, the powdered sugar. All right. So line them up, and a straight edge cutter works good, or a butcher knife or another straight edge knife will work well, or kitchen scissors, but then you have to do them individually. So first just take the tip off. Extras for you. And then you want to make your cuts about approximately 1 inch. And then what you can always do is just use one of your gum pieces as a marker for the rest of it. And just continue doing that until you get all of your gum cut up into the pieces. Oops, those are a little long. Not very straight. And again, if you want to be more accurate, you could get a ruler and mark off your gum exactly 1 inch pieces or 1/2 inch, whatever size that you would like to do. But I found about 1 inch work is a nice size. Now, for storing your gum, you can do one of two things. You can do it in wax paper. So just grab your wax paper and pull off a nice long strip of it. And then make about, I don't know, 1 inch folds. And you're going to continue to do that all the way down your paper. Oh, it's so crooked. So it cracks me up when you guys say Martha Stewart, and I'm like, not quite. And you'll get your scissors. Cut them up both sides, and then cut them into about threes, about 1/3. And there you go. Then you can just take your gum and you roll it up like so. Twist the ends and that. So you can do that. Let your gum sit for about an hour or so. Let it cool off before you wrap it up. So I let it sit for about an hour or two. The other thing you could just do, if you don't want to wrap it up, if it's just for yourself, is add a bunch of powdered sugar into the jar, coat your gum, and you can just throw it in the jar. And just throw a little bit more on. So you can do that. So just put some in the bottom of the jar and then keep it in, and just coat the rest of your gum with it. And that'll prevent it from sticking. And yeah, there you go. So for cleanup, few things. So if you decided you were going to use your own things and you're going to endeavor to clean up, few things you can do. If you've got some big chunks on, big gobs and stuff, you can put it into the freezer for about an hour, a couple of hours, and that'll help you get off a lot of the big chunks. Then for the stuff that's more smeared, you can use peanut butter. So take peanut butter and smear it all on evenly and let it sit on it for a minute or two, and that will work that'll work your gum right out. If you're allergic to peanut butter or you don't want to use peanut butter, you can use melted chocolate as well. Now, word of warning, if you do use peanut butter and you then make a new batch, please warn anybody that maybe have allergies to peanuts that there may be peanut in your product, because there possibly could be residue left. So that's one warning. So you may want to use melted chocolate. But that is going to be the easiest way for you to get gum out. That works for hair too. So if you ever get gum in your hair, peanut butter or melted chocolate will dissolve gum. That should help you clean that up, and that's about it. So that was my little tutorial there on how to make your own Canna chewing gum. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, I got a piece in my mouth here. Oh, you do that. So that is my little demonstration there on how you can make your own bubble gum, Canna bubble gum. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments as always. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching.